Hello and welcome to Weekly Kashmir University Video Digest Quest. First, a look at the highlights. World Environment Day celebrated. Interview with the Dean of Research. And some important notifications from the university. Now the details with your host Beenish Ali. The Department of Environmental Sciences commemorated the World Environment Day by organizing a seminar on the theme Connecting People to Nature. During the event, the scholars and teachers stressed the importance of protecting the environment for a healthy lifestyle. Professor Azra Kamli, Head Environmental Sciences, in her inaugural address gave a brief history of how the day came into existence.
Well, every year World Environment Day is hosted by a different city with a different theme, and is commemorated with the International Exposition in the week of 5th June. World Environment Day is a day for everyone and everywhere. World Environment Day annual celebration campaign was started to address the huge environmental issues like wastage and losses of food, deforestation, increasing global warming, and so many. Every year celebration is planned according to the particular theme and the slogan of the year to bring effectiveness in the campaign all through the world. It is celebrated to successfully get carbon neutrality, focusing on the forest management, reducing greenhouse effects, promoting biofuel production by planting on degraded lands, use of hydropower to enhance electricity production, encourage common public to use solar water heaters, energy production through solar resources, developing new drainage systems, promoting coral reefs and mangroves restoration in order to get prevented from flooding and erosion, including other ways of environmental preservation.
She said that such days are celebrated to make the masses aware about the importance of preserving the environment.
It's celebrated to make aware the common public about the environmental issues, encourage common people from different society and communities to actively participate in the celebrations, as well as become an active agent in developing environmental safety measures. Let them know that community people are very essential to inhibit negative changes towards the environmental issues. Encouraging people to make their nearby surroundings safe and clean, to enjoy safer, cleaner, and more prosperous future. Connecting people to nature is the theme for World Environment Day 2017. It implores us to get outdoors and into nature, to appreciate its beauty and its importance, and to take forward the call to protect the earth that we share. This year's theme invites us to think about how we are part of nature and how intimately we depend on it. It challenges us to find fun and exciting ways to experience and cherish this vital relationship.
Dean Research Professor Zafar Ahmed Rishi, while appreciating the Department of Environmental Sciences for organizing such events, said that changes in environment are impacting the poorer nations more than the developed world.
Global warming, early melting of snow, bud burst, these are all changes that are happening around us. And then we are not impervious to the environmental changes that are taking place elsewhere. The environmental crisis is not the crisis of the first world, it's the crisis of the second world. And unfortunately, if you look at the Human Development Report or any other report, you will find that the poorer nations are going to suffer more because of this climate change than these rich nations are. Anyhow, now the fact of the matter is this, that these are the occasions when we somehow emphasize or somehow realize or get to know that what is happening around us, right? And then we need to not only say restrict ourselves to knowing the problems, but also making our own effort to put in place our say what we could do to offset the problem. Now, in this regard, Department of Environmental Sciences has a significant role to play. It has been playing this role very significantly.
Some scholars also spoke on the occasion.
World Environment Day was designated by the United Nations General Assembly in the year 1972 on the first day of United Nations Conference on Human Environment, held in Stockholm, Sweden from 5th to 16th June. And the first World Environment Day was held in year 1973, with the theme Only One Earth.
Research is the most important aspect of any university. The University of Kashmir is also taking strides in research and trying its best to fill the lacunae. The Quest team got in touch with Professor Zafar Ahmed Rishi, who recently took charge as Dean Research, and asked him about the research developments going on in the varsity. Speaking to the Quest team, Professor Rishi said that the university is doing every bit to promote research.
It's the fact that there are people who do very good research in University of Kashmir, but many of us, for certain reasons, do not do exceptionally well. There are, say, certain reasons responsible for it. And one of the most prominent reasons for not doing, say, high quality research is that in Kashmir we do not have culture of research. I mean, even if a person does exceptionally good in research, he is not recognized. But this is one of the reasons that why, say, research has not progressed the way it has progressed in West, because the society respects researchers, right? I mean, there is an issue that we have also with those of us who have done very good in research. There has not been enough interface with government or with stakeholders or with civil society. We have not been able to tell them that this is what we have done. That also needs to be addressed. This is also a reason that funding has not been appropriate. In certain areas you require high-end instrumentation that has not been there. That also is being addressed. In certain, say, areas we have not asked very great questions of research. That also is an issue, right? I mean, somehow all these issues, there has not been incentivization of research. All these issues we are addressing one by one. And hopefully we would be taking this university to the next pedestal in terms of the research output, in terms of research papers, patents.
He said that university has a budget for providing scholarships to the researchers and is working to increase the amount.
The university does provide scholarships also to the researchers working in different departments who are non-NET, non-JRF students. There are 6 scholarships per student of 5,000 amount each per month. And we have around 1.8 crore budget for this scholarship. The avenue is that in case scholar appears in the national tests, qualifies JRF, they are also going to get scholarship. Over and above this, that we have around 200 projects as on date running, research projects, in which there is a provision for scholarships as well. We have got 13 scholarships of good amount sanctioned by the Ministry of Environment, Forests and Climate Change. They are also there. That means there are multiple, say, agencies which provide scholarships to the students. We would always like that every student should have been having fellowship. State has constraints, right? We'll be writing to university also that kindly have a favorable consideration of the increase in the number and amount of the scholarships. And we will encourage the teachers to write more research grants so that we have the number of scholarships is increased that way also.
Asked about the delay in research work in the university, Professor Rishi said that it has been curbed to a large extent and the research scenario is getting better with every day.
Say, for example, the BORS has not met for quite some time. We recently had the Board of Research Studies and Education convened. Fact of the matter is that when the student say approaches the department, his research topic, the papers, the coursework that he has to complete is the domain of the DRC, Departmental Research Committee, which can meet any time. I mean, they have not to get an expert from anywhere. That way it is very simple. I mean, the time wastage is not there. But the formal approval, say meeting of boards, it takes a bit of time. Then you have, say for example, the letter to be got from registration, academic clearance, what is called as, that also takes a bit of time for different reasons. I mean, those are procedural problems. We are trying to simplify those procedures, and then so that the student is able basically to get the clearances very quickly, and then this delay in, say, either the submission or the clearance or the award of degree is minimized.
He also said that the university is coming up with a plan to have a proper calendar for enrolling research scholars in the university.
We had recently a dean's meeting of all the deans of various schools present here. We decided that there would be, as you have an academic calendar, we should have a calendar for the convening of these boards of research studies and then the holding of these tests for integrated PhD. Now, we propose that, say, 1 month after after declaration of the results of NET, we have these tests conducted. Why? Because we do not want it before that. Reason being that those students who have already qualified NET or JRF, they are exempted from this test. Why they should be facing this test? Now we are planning to have, say, 2 tests conducted, say, twice in a year, but after declaration of results of the NET and JRF.
Dean Research said that the university completes all of its projects on time, but sometimes the paperwork in the end gets a little stuck up, which gives a feeling of slackness.
In case your progress is not found satisfactory, the release of money is not going to take place. Now, what happens here is, because of certain, say, problems, I mean, we do not have a good software available. Once the project is completed, the final UC is submitted. The remaining money that is available with the university has to be submitted. I mean, problem is a sort of a administrative issue that the file is not closed. When from the PI side that it has been completed, final technical report has been submitted, final UC has also gone. Because if the UC remains outstanding of a funding agency, the university would not receive any project from that funding agency. It is not a fact.
He said that the university has taken various steps to curb plagiarism, and every thesis before being submitted for final approval goes through a proper check.
It is mandatory now to have this plagiarism check of the papers, of the thesis done, right? We have a software currently available. All theses go through that. And once the report is received from the librarian, that whatever is allowed under the rules, if the thesis, manuscript or the report is having plagiarism less than that, then alone it is okay, right? It is mandated now by the University Grants Commission, right? And then that is the reason why you have to have theses uploaded on the web also for such type of a mischief. Anyway, but regarding research papers, what we are trying to do is that this is being emphasized time and again in different meetings, that nowadays research scholars also undertake a plagiarism check of their research papers before submission. Why? Because the publishing house would undertake a plagiarism check. And if they find that it's a very high level of material is reproduced, they are going to send it back. As simple as this.
Asked about the university's approach of encouraging academic people to take up research as compared to non-teaching people, Professor Rishi said that the university doesn't stop anyone from research, and many of the non-teaching employees of the university have taken up research.
There is a provision for the employees of the university, irrespective of whether they are teachers or non-teachers, provided they fulfill the other requisites. Simple. The other requisites are that you have to qualify the test, which is conducted for everybody. Second, then you have a concession of doing part-time research. Then, or if you are a JRF, then you are exempted from the test. If you are a SET, you are exempted from this entrance test. If you are a NET, you are exempted from this entrance test. Reason is that when this certificate of the equivalence of PhD for this lecturership is given, at that time this is a requirement. I mean, even if you want to dispense with this condition of having qualified the test or having qualified NET, even if the person pursues PhD, this PhD is worth nothing.
Professor Rishi said that his focus area would be to look for new areas of research.
What we are trying basically to do is that instead of say diversifying in areas, right, where we do not have enough expertise, that critical mass of the researchers, we want to strengthen the already existing say areas of research through say preferential funding, right, so that the research in these areas is done which takes this university to the next level. At least we want that in 3 areas we should have global recognition, at least in 3 areas. And it is a possibility that there are several areas which we have identified where we could be exceptionally good world over, because that will give name to the institution. And then otherwise what we will be doing, that we will be dissipating our energies, our resources, and those areas where we have already done very good would be left out a grade, and as such it would not be helpful for the university.
He said that as the Dean Research, his intention is to make the university a centre of excellence as far as research is concerned and is looking to get in as many innovative research projects as possible.
We are planning to organize small courses for young students to give them an idea as to what are the procedures of formulation of a problem, what hypothesis testing is, what are the ways of how you can go about, what is the experimental design, how to go about, say, identifying a good topic of research. Now, this would be one way of, say, helping the students and improve their quality of research, because identifying topic of research is very essential. And if you are a very hard worker, if you do everything, but you are working on a topic which is not going to take you far, even if you are working hard, still then you are not going to go to a very high level in research, or you are not going to produce high quality research. This is one. Second, we are saying that we would have, for every research scholar, there should be an advisory committee. The advisory committee necessarily is not going to be of the teachers of the department. Say, for example, a student is working on an area where expertise is also available in two other departments with two different teachers. Those two teachers are also going to be in his advisory committee.
Now, some important notifications from the university. The university invites applications from eligible candidates for admission to 5-year IMBA integrated program and 5-year BA LLB programs for the academic session 2017. Last date for submission of online cum hard copies of the application forms is 16th June. Application forms are invited from eligible candidates for admission to 4-year BSc Nursing course at the Institute of Paramedical Science, Nursing College, South Campus, Anantnag for the academic session 2017. The application forms can be downloaded from the university website from June 13. The last date for submission of the same is June 30. The Department of Library and Information Sciences calls for research papers for its biannual journal, Trends in Information Management. The papers can be submitted online on these email IDs: abmbaba@kashmiruniversity.ac.in, abmbaba1@rediffmail.com, or shabir311@rediffmail.com, or sumirsuhil@gmail.com. Candidates who appeared in the Kashmir University entrance test for admission to MA in Political Science and History and 3-year LLB are invited to apply for the second shift in these programs. The applications can be submitted from 9th to 17th June on the university website. For more information on these, you can log on to kashmiruniversity.ac.in. With this, we come to the end of today's program. In case you have missed some part of the program, you can log on to emmrckashmir.com where you can watch the whole episode. Send us your suggestions at our email address quest@emmrckashmir.com. It's the month of Ramadan and we wish that all your prayers come true. This is a month of blessings, so make sure to sum up yours and spread happiness. Allah says about the fasting person, "He has left his food, drink and desires for my sake. The fast is for me, so I will reward. For it and the reward of good deeds is multiplied 10 times. With these words, I take your leave. Goodbye.